There is no secret that the relationship between police officers and black and brown communities in this country have been strained. After the death of George Floyd in 2020, the tension between police and minority communities grew even greater. But there are those who are working hard to try and change that. Several members of the Tempe, Arizona Police Department and their invited guests recently took a cultural enrichment trip through the South, which included 4 southern cities. Among them, New Orleans, Selma, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, where they toured the Legacy Museum and also made a stop right here in Jackson, Mississippi.
It's about learning. You know, all of this is about seeking to understand and really understand exactly what the culture and the history behind what has shaped our country. And for law enforcement, it's important to be able to understand and know that history, to be able to understand exactly the best way of policing people here in our prospective areas.
They visited New Horizon Church to listen and talk with church members about their concerns with policing in their community.
It's a good thing, and policing is a good thing. I have invested my life in.
Then it was back to the bus and off to the Civil Rights Museum to understand the state's history.
I think what I wanted to be able to take back to Arizona is the knowledge of having that history. There's such a rich history here in the South, and I think it's something that the officers, that what I want from our officers is to understand it and to be able to talk and have conversation throughout the police department about what they've experienced on this trip.
My deeper feeling is to make a change, to have a conversation that is not easy for individuals to have, and that is, we all want to be there to make a community better.
Cook says he wants to be an officer for a long time and is hopeful that police and minority communities can find common ground.
In my deepest heart, I know that our communities can come together. It's just going to take hard conversations like this. It's going to take moments of each individuals and cultures and religious groups to come to the table and have honest conversations, and then get back in our communities and share what we learn as we have those interactions.
Learning about the relationship between the police and black and brown communities in the South was hard, but also healing.
It's part of the healing process, and it is part of, I heard one of the other folks talk about, you know, it was ripping the Band-Aid off the scab, because for some of us, you know, we've experienced these things and we still experience them in our lives. But those who haven't been exposed to these things, for them, it's almost like a reckoning.
It was an eye-opening experience for these law enforcement officers from Arizona and Illinois.
While you were here,
A tour of the Civil Rights Museum in Jackson gave them a better understanding of racism in the South.
I would say the biggest thing is realizing how much I didn't learn in school, how, you always know racism, existed, it still does exist.
I'm seeing a transformation in the police officers that are coming here primarily because of what is being offered. I'm seeing a mindset change, and I can't do that in police leadership. This pilgrimage is what's making a huge difference in our ability to change how we go about policing.